The first time you ever felt the emotional roller coaster of trading, you probably didn't even call it that. It just felt like life. It felt like adrenaline. It felt like finally having something in your hands that could change everything. A chart on a screen shouldn't be able to make your heart race, but somehow it does. A little candle shouldn't be able to ruin your entire mood, but somehow it can. That's the part people don't say out loud. Trading isn't just a skill you learn, it's a mirror you stare into. And the longer you stare, the more it starts showing you parts of yourself you didn't plan to meet. If that sentence already feels too real, like the video right now, because you felt this and you're tired of pretending you haven't. There's a moment early on where trading feels like the greatest thing you've ever discovered. It's almost embarrassing how excited you get. You start talking differently. You walk differently. You check your phone the same way someone checks a text from a person they can't stop thinking about. You catch yourself replaying wins in your head like a highlight reel. Even small wins feel like proof that you're special, that you're different, that you're about to be one of the ones. The market hasn't humbled you yet, so your brain fills in the gaps with fantasy. It's not even your fault. Your brain is doing what it's designed to do. It wants certainty. It wants a story. It wants to connect dots and feel safe. So it takes one good trade and turns it into a destiny. Then comes the first big loss that actually hits your chest. Not the kind where you shrug and say, it's part of the game. The kind where you feel heat in your face and your stomach drops. The kind where you stare at the number like it's a personal insult. The kind where you start bargaining with the market like the market can hear you. Just come back a little. Just give me this one. I'll close if it gets back to entry. You start making promises you don't even believe because you don't want to admit the truth. The truth is that the loss is real, and the pain isn't just the money. It's the feeling that you were wrong. It's the feeling that you got exposed. It's the feeling that your little fantasy just got punched in the mouth. And that's where the roller coaster really starts. Because once trading is attached to your identity, every win feels like you're worthy, and every loss feels like you're broken. That's why a trader can be up money and still feel miserable, because the emotional system is not tied to the account balance. It's tied to the internal story. It's tied to the meaning you assign to every tick. If you've ever been profitable for the day but still felt anxious, share this video with the trader you know because they need to hear that it's not just them. The emotional roller coaster is not random. It's a pattern. It's a cycle. It's the same movie playing with different actors and different charts, and what makes it dangerous is that it feels personal, like it's only happening to you. You'll see traders online posting calm wins, clean charts, confident captions, and you think they're immune. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, most of those same people are fighting their own mind every day. The market doesn't destroy most traders because they lack information. The market destroys most traders because their emotional reactions keep pulling them away from the only thing that works, which is consistency. Trading is simple, but it's not easy because the hard part isn't placing trades. The hard part is staying the same person while the market tries to turn you into 10 different versions of yourself. Picture this. A trader wakes up early feeling motivated. He tells himself today is going to be different. He showers, gets coffee, sits down, and pulls up the charts. He feels sharp. He feels focused. He's talking to himself like a coach. He sees a setup. It fits his rules. He enters. The trade moves in his favor quickly. He smiles. His shoulders relax. He starts imagining what he's going to do with the money. He starts thinking about texting somebody, showing somebody, proving something. He's not even at take profit yet, but his mind is already spending it. The market pulls back a little and he feels a small panic, but it comes back, and now he feels relief. He feels grateful. He feels like the universe is on his side. Then the candle spikes against him and takes him out. All that warmth disappears. His face changes. His breathing changes. He gets that tight feeling around his jaw. He's staring at the screen like it betrayed him. Now he's scrolling back, zooming out, looking for reasons. He says things like, that move was stupid. That was manipulation. That was a stop hunt. He needs a villain because he doesn't want to be the villain. He needs a reason outside of himself because if he admits he took a normal loss, he has to sit with the discomfort that this game is uncertain. And sitting with uncertainty is what most people can't do. He tells himself, it's fine, I'll just wait for the next setup. But his emotions are already leaning forward. He's not waiting anymore, he's hunting. He's scanning faster. He's lowering his standards. He sees something that kind of looks like his setup and he jumps in. The trade goes a little against him, and now he feels rage. Now he feels like he has to win. He starts moving stop losses. He starts widening risk. He starts adding to losers. He starts doing the exact thing he promised himself he would never do. The market didn't force him. His emotions did. His reaction did. If you've ever watched yourself do that in real time, subscribe to this channel because this is the kind of truth that actually makes you better. Not the fake motivational stuff that makes you feel good for 10 minutes and then leaves you doing the same nonsense tomorrow. Now, let me tell you something that might sting, but it's a gift if you can accept it. The emotional roller coaster doesn't start when you lose money. It starts when you start needing trading to fix something inside of you. Some people start trading because they want freedom, and that's normal. Some people start trading because they want money, and that's normal too. But a lot of people start trading because they want to feel powerful. They want to feel respected. They want to feel like they matter. They want to feel like they finally found the thing that makes them special. And the moment trading becomes your source of self-worth, the market now controls your emotions like a puppet master. I've seen traders who don't even need the money act like they're fighting for oxygen when a trade goes against them. I've seen traders with good jobs, steady lives, and supportive families still spiral because they're not trading to pay bills. They're trading to prove something. They're trading to erase a feeling they've had since they were younger. The feeling of not being enough, the feeling of being behind, the feeling of being overlooked. The market doesn't care about your childhood, but your nervous system does. Your nervous system brings all that into the chart with you, and then you wonder why you can't stay calm. There's a story that plays in a lot of traders' minds. It's quiet, but it's loud at the same time. It says, if I can just make this work, everything changes. If you've said that to yourself, like the video because you're not alone and because this is the exact thought that turns trading into an emotional addiction. This is why wins can be just as dangerous as losses. A win doesn't just give you money, it gives you validation, it gives you a hit. It gives you that rush that tells your brain, do that again. And if you're not careful, you start chasing that feeling, not the process. The market turns into a casino without you realizing it, because your body starts craving the emotional swing, the anticipation, the release, the relief, the thrill. The win becomes less about profit and more about proving you were right. Then when you lose, it's not just a loss. It's a withdrawal. It's your brain being told no. It's the market taking away the hit you wanted. That's why some traders can't stop after a loss. They're not trading to win money anymore. They're trading to get back to normal. They're trading to erase the feeling of being wrong. They're trading to soothe themselves the only way they know how, which is by trying to control the next outcome. Let's make this practical because I don't want this to be one of those videos where you nod your head and then go right back to doing the same thing. The roller coaster has stages and you can literally feel them if you start paying attention. There's anticipation, there's euphoria, there's anxiety, there's panic, there's anger, there's revenge, there's hopelessness, and then there's that weird numb phase where you don't even care anymore. You're just clicking buttons. That numb phase is the most dangerous because it looks calm from the outside, but it's not calm. It's dissociation. It's the mind protecting itself by shutting down, and in trading, shutting down is expensive. I remember a time when I watched a trader I knew go through that numb phase. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't slamming his desk. He wasn't pacing. He was quiet. Too quiet. He had taken a few losses and you could see something in his eyes change. It was like his emotions got tired of screaming and decided to go underground. He started taking trades without even caring if they made sense. It was almost like he wanted to lose. Not because he enjoyed pain, but because losing would at least end the suspense. Losing would at least give him a conclusion. When a person is stuck on a roller coaster, part of them starts craving the end more than the win. He blew his account that week. Not because he didn't know how to trade. He blew it because he couldn't handle how trading made him feel. Imagine a woman who starts trading because she watched someone online making it look easy. She's smart. She's disciplined in other areas. She's the type who can commit to things. She starts learning. She takes notes. She backtests. She's doing everything right. But the first time she goes live, her hands shake. She can't believe her hands are shaking. She's embarrassed, like her body betrayed her. She puts on a calm face because she doesn't want to seem weak. The trade goes into profit, and she closes early because she's scared it will reverse. It would have hit full take profit if she held. She feels regret. She feels like she failed. Next time she holds longer and it reverses and stops her out. Now she feels stupid. Now she feels like she can't win. Now she starts questioning herself. She goes online and sees someone posting wins again and she thinks, why can't I do that? She starts changing strategies. She starts buying courses. She starts jumping from one thing to another. She isn't doing it because she's lazy. She's doing it because her emotions can't tolerate the slow grind of mastery. Her emotions need a quick fix. Her emotions need hope right now. That's the thing most people don't understand. Hope can be poison in trading when it's not anchored to process. Hope makes you hold losers. Hope makes you ignore rules. Hope makes you believe the next trade will save you. Hope makes you over-leverage because you want the result faster. Hope is beautiful in life, but in trading, hope is often just denial wearing a pretty outfit. If you're hearing this and you're thinking, I do that, comment roller coaster because I want you to admit it to yourself in public. The moment you can say it without flinching, you start taking your power back. Now let's talk about why this roller coaster is so common, even among people who are intelligent. Trading forces you to make decisions in uncertainty with real consequences in real time. That combination is basically designed to trigger the nervous system. In normal life, most people avoid uncertainty. They avoid decisions where the outcome is unknown and the consequences are immediate. Trading doesn't let you avoid it. Trading makes you sit in it. Trading makes you press the button anyway. And if your identity is attached to being right, or being smart, or being successful, trading will expose that attachment quickly. This is why some of the most emotional traders are the ones who are used to being good at everything. They're used to school being straightforward. Study, test, pass. They're used to work being linear. Put in effort, get results. Trading laughs at linear. Trading says, you can do everything right and still lose. That sentence alone can break a person who has built their self-worth on control. Here's a part of you that wants to blame the market, blame liquidity, blame algorithms, blame manipulation, blame brokers, blame news, blame everything. And yeah, those things exist. But if you keep pointing outward, you never build the inner skill that actually matters. The skill isn't predicting. The skill is staying emotionally neutral enough to execute your plan over and over without turning every trade into a personal drama. That is the real edge. That is what separates traders who last from traders who get chewed up. Most traders don't need a new strategy. Most traders need a new relationship with their emotions. Most traders need to stop treating emotions like enemies and start treating them like signals. Emotions are not the problem. The problem is the story you attach to them and the actions you take because of them. Think about fear. Fear isn't weakness. Fear is information. Fear is your body saying, this matters. The question is, does it matter because you're over-leveraged, or does it matter because you're emotionally addicted to being right? Those are two different fears. One is a risk management problem, the other is an identity problem. Think about anger. Anger isn't always bad. Anger is energy. Anger is your system saying something feels unfair. The question is it unfair because you broke rules and got punished? Or is it unfair because you think you deserve wins just because you want them? The market doesn't pay you because you want it. The market pays you when you execute an edge. If you're angry because you took a valid loss, then what you're really angry at is reality. Think about euphoria. Euphoria feels like confidence, but it's often just a temporary high that makes you sloppy. You start thinking you can't lose. You start increasing size. You start taking setups that aren't yours. You start acting like the market owes you a continuation of the feeling. Euphoria is one of the most expensive emotions in trading because it convinces you to abandon the very discipline that created the win. If this is already hitting, share the video because every trader you know is dealing with this, and they're either going to learn it the smart way or the expensive way. Now I want to slow down and tell you about the most dangerous emotional moment in trading, the moment that ends more accounts than people want to admit. It's not the first loss. It's the moment right after a loss when you feel the urge to make it back immediately. That urge is pure poison. That urge is not logic. That urge is pain avoidance. It's the emotional brain trying to erase discomfort. The trader who can sit in that discomfort without acting is the trader who survives. Most people can't sit in discomfort. They can't sit in uncertainty. They can't sit in being wrong. They want to fix the feeling. And trading gives them a lever that feels like control. Click, enter, done. The dopamine of doing something is so seductive. It feels better than waiting. It feels better than accepting. It feels better than acknowledging you took a loss and now you need to let the system reset. This is why traders overtrade. Not because they love trading, because they hate how trading makes them feel, and they keep trying to outrun the feeling. There's a phrase I wish every trader would tattoo on their forehead. Not because it sounds cool, but because it would save them. The market is not your therapist. The market will not heal your insecurities. The market will amplify them. The market will take whatever is inside you and turn the volume up. If you are impatient, trading will make you reckless. If you are insecure, trading will make you desperate. If you are ego-driven, trading will make you fragile. If you are disciplined, trading will reward you slowly and cruelly until you learn to respect it. There's a guy who works a regular job. He feels like he's behind. He's scrolling social media at night, seeing people post cars and trips and big wins. He doesn't know what's real and what's fake, but it still hits him. He starts trading because it feels like a shortcut. He tells himself he's doing it for his family, for his future, for freedom, but deep down it's also for pride. He wants to prove he can win at the highest level. He starts small, but he's impatient. He sees a trade go in profit and he feels relief. He sees it pull back and he feels fear. He closes early, he watches it go to target and he feels regret. The regret turns into anger. The anger turns into, I should have held. The next trade, he holds too long. It reverses and stops him out. Now he feels shame. Now he feels like he can't trust himself. And in that shame, he does the most dangerous thing. He doubles down to fix the shame. He starts risking more than he should. He starts staying up late. He starts neglecting sleep. He starts snapping at people around him. He becomes emotionally unavailable because all his emotional energy is tied up in a chart. His family thinks he's stressed from work, but it's not work. It's the roller coaster. Every day he's riding it, and nobody can see it but him. Eventually, he blows the account. He sits there staring at the screen, numb. And the worst part isn't losing the money. The worst part is the identity crash. Maybe I'm not that guy. Maybe I'm not built for this. Maybe I'm just average. That's how the market destroys people. Not because the market is evil, because the emotional swing makes them abandon themselves. People think emotions are thoughts. Emotions are physical. Fear tightens your chest. Anxiety makes your breathing shallow. Anger heats your face. Euphoria makes you lean forward like you're about to pounce. Shame makes you want to hide. Trading triggers all of those in a short time, which is why it feels exhausting. You can finish a trading session and feel like you ran a marathon even if you sat in a chair the whole time. Your nervous system ran the marathon. If your nervous system is constantly stressed, your decision-making gets worse. You start missing obvious things. You start making impulsive choices. You start seeing what you want to see. You start forcing patterns. This is why the emotional roller coaster doesn't just feel bad, it literally makes you trade worse. It's like trying to drive a car fast while your windshield is fogged up and your hands are shaking. You're not seeing clearly. So the question is, how do you get off the roller coaster without quitting trading entirely? The answer isn't to become emotionless. That's a fake goal. The answer is to become emotionally aware and emotionally disciplined. The goal is to feel the emotions without letting them pick your trades. That starts with one brutal truth. Most of your worst trading decisions were not made because you didn't know what to do. They were made because you didn't want to feel what you were feeling. You didn't want to feel the boredom of waiting, so you forced a trade. You didn't want to feel the pain of a loss, so you revenge traded. You didn't want to feel the fear of missing out, so you chased. You didn't want to feel the humility of being wrong, so you moved stops. You didn't want to feel the uncertainty, so you overanalyzed until you convinced yourself to press the button. This is why the best traders often look bored, not because they don't care, but because they've made peace with the emotional swings. They don't need trading to entertain them. They don't need trading to validate them. They don't need the market to tell them they're smart. They treat it like a business. They show up, execute, and leave. Their emotions still exist, but they don't drive the car. A lot of people hear that and think it's about willpower. It's not. It's about systems. It's about boundaries. It's about creating a structure that protects you from yourself on your worst days. The problem is, most traders build a system for entries and exits, but they don't build a system for their emotions. They don't build rules for what to do after a loss, after a win, after a streak, after a bad sleep, after a stressful day. They assume they'll just be disciplined. That's like assuming you'll just be calm in a fight. Calm is trained. Calm is practiced. Calm is earned. Imagine trading as a relationship with someone unpredictable. Some days they love you. Some days they ignore you. Some days they reward you. Some days they punish you. If you are emotionally needy in that relationship, you will spiral. If you are emotionally grounded, you can stay consistent. The market is not your partner, but your brain treats it like one because it's constantly giving you feedback. The more you crave the feedback, the more unstable you become. A trader who is emotionally stable can take a loss and still feel okay. Not because they like losing, but because losing doesn't mean anything about them. It means they took a trade that had a probability, and this time it didn't work. They accept it. They log it. They move on. A trader who is emotionally unstable takes the same loss and feels like it's a sign. They feel like it means they're cursed. They feel like it means they're not cut out for this. They feel like it means the market is out to get them. And that meaning creates emotional pain, which creates impulsive behavior, which creates more losses, which creates more meaning, and now you have the loop that destroys most traders every time. The market is a probability machine. Your mind is a meaning machine. The roller coaster happens when your meaning machine tries to override probability. There's an old trap that catches almost every trader. They want to feel confident before they execute. They want to feel certain before they enter. They want to feel safe before they risk. That's backwards. Confidence comes from executing the same process through uncertainty. Certainty doesn't come first. Discipline comes first. Calm comes after repetition. Think about how people learn to drive. Nobody feels calm the first day. Your hands grip the wheel too tight. Every little movement feels dramatic. Over time, you get calm because your brain has done it enough. Trading is the same, except most traders never get enough repetition of doing the right thing because their emotions interrupt the repetition. They keep resetting the process every time they change strategies, every time they overtrade, every time they break rules. So their nervous system never adapts. They stay in that beginner emotional state forever, even after years. That's why you'll meet traders who have been trading for 5 years, but emotionally they still trade like it's week 2. Time in the market does not equal experience. Experience is what you repeat. Let me put you inside a moment that you've probably lived. It's the end of the day. You're down. Not blown up, but down enough to be annoyed. You tell yourself you're done. You stand up, you walk away, then you come back, you sit down again. You look at the chart. You tell yourself you're just checking. Then you see something move. You feel a spark. You feel that little voice saying, "This is the one." You take the trade. It's not your best setup, but you convince yourself it's close enough. It loses. Now you're more down. Now you feel that heat. Now you feel like you have to do something. Now you take another. Now it loses too. Now you're spiraling. Now you don't even know why you're trading anymore. You're not trading because you saw a clean setup. You're trading because you want to erase the feeling of being down. That's the roller coaster. It turns trading into emotional debt. Every loss feels like you owe yourself a win, and the market punishes debt. If that scene felt like I was reading your mind, like the video, because I'm trying to save you money and time, and those are two things the market happily steals from people who don't respect this truth. The traders who grow start to build emotional protocols, something they do automatically when emotions spike. When they take a loss, they don't immediately look for the next trade. They breathe, they step away, they log it, they check if the loss was within their plan. If it was, they treat it like a business expense. If it wasn't, they treat it like a mistake to correct. Either way, they don't act from pain. When they take a win, they don't immediately increase size. They don't immediately start taking random trades. They recognize the euphoria and they come back to neutral. They treat the win like a normal outcome, not a sign that they're unstoppable. When they have a streak, they don't start feeling invincible or hopeless. They zoom out. They understand variance. They understand that a good system can have a losing streak. They understand that a bad system can have a winning streak. They don't let short-term outcomes rewrite their identity. That's emotional maturity in trading. It's boring. It's not glamorous. It doesn't make for viral screenshots. But it makes money. And you might be thinking, okay, but how do I actually build that? Here's the truth. The emotional roller coaster stops being violent when you stop making trading bigger than it is. Trading is not your life. Trading is a skill. Trading is a business. The moment trading becomes your entire self-worth, the stakes feel life or death, and your body reacts accordingly. Your heart doesn't know the difference between a lion and a losing trade if your mind tells it your future depends on this one outcome. So if you want to lower the intensity of the roller coaster, you have to lower the emotional stakes. That doesn't mean you lower your ambition. It means you lower your attachment. It means you stop thinking this one trade will change everything. It means you stop thinking this one day defines you. It means you stop treating losses like evidence that you're broken. That's why proper risk management is emotional management. Small risk makes losses tolerable. Tolerable losses make you calmer. Calm makes you execute better. Better execution makes the system work. The system working makes you trust it. Trust reduces anxiety. Anxiety reduction reduces impulsive behavior. It's a loop too, just in the other direction. If you want to be profitable, you don't just build a strategy. You build a nervous system that can execute the strategy. I remember a period where my charts looked fine. My strategy was fine. My analysis was fine. But my results were not. And it wasn't because the market changed. It was because my emotions were changing faster than my plan. I would have a win and feel like I finally figured it out. Then I'd have a loss and feel like it was all fake. Then I'd try to fix it by tweaking something. Then I'd start second-guessing entries. Then I'd hesitate. Then I'd miss a move. Then I'd chase it. Then I'd lose. Then I'd promise myself I'd stop. Then I'd come back the next day and do it again. It took me a while to admit that the issue wasn't my strategy. The issue was that I was using trading to regulate my emotions. I was using wins to feel good and losses to punish myself. I was tying my mood to my P&L. That made me unstable, and instability is expensive. When I finally started getting better, it wasn't because I found some magical indicator. It was because I started noticing the emotional cues earlier. I started recognizing when I was trading because I was bored. I started recognizing when I was trading because I was angry. I started recognizing when I was trading because I was trying to prove something. And I started building the habit of stepping back before acting. That's what this video is about. Catching the roller coaster earlier. Not after you're already upside down and screaming, but at the moment you start walking toward the ride. If you've made it this far, subscribe because you're the kind of trader who actually wants the truth. And that mindset alone already puts you ahead of most people. The emotional whiplash between confidence and doubt. A trader takes a trade confidently, it loses, and now they doubt themselves. Then they hesitate on the next valid setup. It wins without them, and now they feel regret. Then they overcompensate by jumping into the next one without confirmation. It loses, and now they feel stupid. That loop can destroy a trader's trust in their own decision-making. The fix isn't to magically never doubt. The fix is to define your decisions in advance. If your rules say take the setup, then you take it. The outcome doesn't rewrite the rule. The rule is the rule. The market can do whatever it wants after you execute. Your job is execution. The market's job is outcome. When you mix those jobs, you become emotional. A lot of traders want to feel certain before they pull the trigger. They want the market to whisper, "This one is safe." That whisper never comes. What comes is probability. What comes is a plan. What comes is risk management. If you need certainty, you will overanalyze forever. Overanalysis is not intelligence. Overanalysis is fear in a suit. And fear is not a problem unless it drives your actions. Fear can be present while you still execute. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing the right thing while fear is in the room. Traders consume highlight reels. They see clean entries, big wins, perfect days. They don't see the boredom, the waiting, the losses, the drawdowns, the emotional discipline. So they start expecting trading to feel like the highlight reel. When it doesn't, they feel like they're failing. That expectation gap is fuel for the roller coaster. It's like watching someone's vacation photos and forgetting they don't post the airport delays and the arguments and the sunburn. Trading content online is often the same. It's performance, it's branding. It's not the full reality. If you build your expectations from that, you will always feel like you're behind. So a contrarian move that can make you instantly calmer is to stop consuming trading content right before you trade. If you fill your mind with other people's results, you start trading their emotions instead of yours. You start chasing what they're doing. You start comparing. Comparison is gasoline for insecurity, and insecurity is gasoline for impulsive trades. If you want to win at trading, you have to protect your mental environment like it's part of your edge. Because it is the emotional roller coaster that destroys most traders every time. The reason it destroys them isn't because emotions exist. The reason is because they react. They react in ways that break the only thing that gives them a chance, which is a repeatable process. It's not the loss that kills you. It's the revenge trade after the loss. It's not the win that kills you. It's the overconfidence trade after the win. It's not the boring day that kills you. It's the forced trade to escape boredom. It's not the missed move that kills you. It's the chase trade to make up for missing it. The market isn't hunting you. Your reactions are. And if you understand that, you can start changing the game. You stop trying to eliminate losses and start trying to eliminate emotional decisions. You stop trying to predict the market and start trying to predict yourself. You start noticing that your worst days follow certain patterns: lack of sleep, stress, arguments, hunger, ego, boredom. Those are real inputs. If you ignore them, you're basically trading with a handicap and then acting surprised when you lose. A trader who wants to get off the roller coaster starts living like a professional. Professionals don't trade in chaos. Professionals don't trade to feel better. Professionals trade because their plan says it's time. Professionals accept that some days the market doesn't pay them, and they don't throw a tantrum. They come back tomorrow. If you've ever wondered why profitable traders seem calm, it's not because they're born different. It's because they've trained themselves to not react. They've trained themselves to treat outcomes as data, not as identity. You need to decide what kind of person you want to be in the market. Do you want to be the trader who is emotionally tossed around by every tick? Or do you want to be the trader who stays steady and executes? Because the difference between those two isn't intelligence. It's discipline. It's emotional control. It's self-respect. Self-respect in trading looks like not chasing. Self-respect looks like accepting a loss without trying to win it back immediately. Self-respect looks like walking away when you know you're not in the right state. Self-respect looks like doing what you said you would do. If you want that version of yourself, like the video because that's the version this channel is built for, and comment roller coaster so you anchor it.